You see anything in there?
No. I only see spots. Do you?
Yeah, the poop spots on the outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
the
nothing.
inside. I don't think it's growing.
I don't think it's growing either. Hello again, Matt Dude here, New Hampshire, man. Back into the chickens. Chickens add so much to your life if you're pursuing personal freedom and you're actively designing your lifestyle. This one is about hatching chicks with a chicken. And this is one where I'm still figuring this out. So I welcome your input in the comments below. I'll show you some pictures here, but I candled these eggs the other night and they're not looking real good. I'm not sure squeakers really land on them. And I asked a buddy of mine up in at the Backyard Farming Initiative last night, like, we were talking about it, and the biggest thing he said is with getting chickens to set, they got to do it where they want to do it. Before I bring her out, I got to feed these girls. Here's what's on the menu this morning. A rooster, so that's been slow cooked and then slow cooked again, and compost, and I'll go get the rest of their food out of the barn. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about hatching. First off, you need a bird that's going to do it, right? So you need a setter. They're called setters. We have a little Cochin Bantam Cochin, like that's a sweet setter, and if you look them up in a catalog, that's pretty much what they do. Only one of our birds will set. Weird thing, right? It was kind of bred out of the breeds over time, because when they're setting, they're not laying eggs. This is where the first batch of eggs came from. This is in the coop. Squeaker just hung out and sat on them the whole time. And it worked great. The first time we did it, I thought we had it all figured out. The second time we did it, it did not work out. We tried hatching again in the coop, and a bunch of the other hens were getting in there. And the eggs were breaking, and like we'd go in the morning and Squeaker'd be sitting, or in the afternoon, Squeaker's sitting on the wrong set of eggs. Just wasn't working out. So I thought I'd do her a favor and bring her into the barn. I set up a little stall here in the barn for Squeaker. But you can see she's not sitting. So for that reason, we are calling it quits. We're gonna stop on this batch and take Squeaker back to the coop. Alright, with that all done, I just want to take a few minutes to talk about hatching eggs. The whole point of doing it is to have a sustainable flock, chickens that make more chickens. And you can do that by collecting the eggs and putting them in an incubator. Please note you do need a rooster. The rule of thumb is one rooster for 15 hens. Like you could take those fertilized eggs and put them in an incubator, and then when they hatch, you have your brooder, and you can see my video on brooding or my post on brooding at newhampshireman.com. Anyway, that's, to me, like, that's a lot of work. Brooding is kind of a pain in the ass. And what's cool is, like, the chickens will do it. And they'll do all that. The trick is just figuring out how to make it work, and that's what we're working through here. If you can get your chicken to set on the eggs, then they'll hatch them, they'll keep them warm, they'll make sure that they're protected when the chicks hatch, and fed and watered. All that stuff is done. Like the first batch we hatched in October here in New Hampshire, and that's cold, right? Like, so going, they hatched late October, going into November, like they were still feathering out, and Squeaker, like they just bundled up or huddled together rather, and stayed nice and warm, and that worked awesome. And I became a super advocate for hatching eggs with a chicken, and then like round 2 didn't work, round 3 I tried something different, that's not working real well. So I'm still figuring this out, but I'm committed to keep trying. Next time Squeaker goes broody, I think we'll probably try again in the coop, maybe with a different little setup, sort of like what I did, like a hybrid between not. I don't want to bring her back into the barn because I think she freaks out when she's alone in here, but maybe like put her in a dog crate in the coop, in that corner in the coop, and again have her own feed and water and like one little box where she can sit on the eggs. One thing that we do, I just want to point out, use a little magic marker and write on the eggs to the date that we put them under the bird. So that way, if they don't hatch, they rot. And I did this with we waited till term with the last batch that we did in the chicken coop. And when I grabbed them out of there, I took them out to the garden like I knew they were going to be bad, and I cracked it on a fence post. And whoo-hoo, like you don't want that cracking inside your chicken coop. That would have been a disaster. Okay, so the bottom line is like, if you can get it to work, it's super easy, and it's way better in my opinion than the hassle of a brooder. The advantage of the brooder and like an incubator is that you have some level of consistency and control. Anyway, all right, I hope you found some value with that. That is how to hatch chicks with the chickens. This is part of a whole series of how to raise chickens. Go to my YouTube channel, there's a playlist there. Remember, this is part of a much bigger picture on incorporating chickens into your life as you design your lifestyle around happiness and personal freedom. All of the things chickens can do for you, like they are very symbolic of the systems we should be implementing. So I hope you get that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and scoot over to New Hampshire Man. Check out all the articles there. All of the stuff on how to raise chickens is on a page there, and there's links all over the place. I hope you can find it. If you cannot, please reach out. I'm trying to make it better all the time. Thanks, guys.